Hello and welcome. I'm sharing with you today for the winter solstice of 2021. Unfortunately, the meditation and the whole recording I did last week during our ceremony in the Algarve, the sound has completely just totally scrambled. So I'm recording this afresh for you to listen to now. So I'll recap on just a few of the things that we went over in our ceremony so that you can live with it for the actual date of winter solstice. That was the intention. So even though we tuned into this energy last week, it's to really bring that energy back in and remember it for the winter solstice, and just to keep the spirits high as we move through these final days of 2021. And so you remember that we've just had the Gemini full moon, which I posted about, and Venus going into retrograde. We just had that there on the 19th on Sunday. And so both of those events, I'm sure you felt quite strongly as we were talking about it. Venus going into retrograde now for the next 40 days, 41 days in Capricorn. And this energy is a beautiful release of the Venusian energies, which all connect with your self-worth, your values, the materialistic connections that you have on your life path. And they're not always deemed bad. So remember that materialistic connections are also good. You are spirit manifest, and Venus really speaks to this part of you where spirit has manifested and creates a life here that we can touch, that we can feel, that we can become sensual and connected with through our senses, through our bodies. And the wonderful thing about having Venus in Capricorn as she goes through her retrograde this year, and it happens about every 18, 19 months. So the last time it happened was in Gemini, wasn't it? Back in June of 2020. And so this year with it in Capricorn, and it's coinciding with this final pinch point of 2021, it's a really wonderful time to connect to the energies of Capricorn. And so with Venus, the self-worth, self-values, the spirit manifests, this connection point that we have. Going into retrograde mode means a yin phase of deep reflection. A yin phase of deep reflection is also a huge amount of releasing the energy that is no longer required, that connects to these types of energy. So Venus, particularly, all those themes, but also those themes in association with Capricorn. And so when we look at Capricorn, which is going to be a big theme of this evening with the winter solstice, as the sun moves into Capricorn tomorrow, this energy is all to do with the Christ-aligned energy. Okay, so Capricorn is cardinal earth. Cardinal earth is this outward expression of the body. Again, the manifested spirit that comes into form. It creates life, it creates a path, it creates a direction upon which reality plays out. And so when we connect with this Capricorn energy, connect to the idea of this Christ-aligned, crystalline, crystallized, manifested spirit manifested in alignment, creating its path. It's so easy to think of Capricorn as just about achievement, work mode, to-do list, check, check, check. Yes, it certainly has those qualities, of course. But when we're tuning in ceremony in particular, and for these types of events, when we're aligning with the wheel of the year and we're calling upon this energy into our lives, we're using the wheel of the year to upgrade how we move through our life. That is the beauty of tuning into the wheel of the year, because it really upgrades how you live your life, how you deal and cope with the various different things that play out on your life path. Okay. And so this winter solstice kind of comes crammed and packed with a few other great big celestial events happening either side of it. And so to just recap then on the Venus piece that I started with, as Venus went into retrograde yesterday on the 19th, I would focus on calling Venus in. If it's just a simple thing of when you're making your morning cup of tea or something like that, light a candle. Maybe the color of the candle is something that it represents Venus to you. Or perhaps you collect dried flowers, leaves, or have fresh roses in symbolic reverence to this Venusian energy. And think about this energy, call this energy in, really bring it into your awareness over the next 40 days. And so when we call upon this Venusian energy, we are reminded that this energy is playing out within us, subconsciously, collectively. Perhaps it's not really playing out very strongly for your personal life, but somewhere this will really call to you to draw this energy forward. So with the Venus retrograde part of this ceremony, calling this energy in, it would be really great to just honor the parts of you that are ready to let go, the parts of your self-worth that have been heavy, particularly if they've been weighing down on your body, the attachments to the materialistic things, the attachment to things that you make assumptions about where they're going to lead you in your life, where you let go of this need to control the outcome. And then instead you allow and trust that spirit carries through your body and delivers you up the mountain. And the mountain is the Capricorn energy in my head. And it's this deliverance of spirit manifest and where it brings you on this journey. So connect into that Venusian energy over the next 40 days. And then when the Sun and Venus align on the 8th of January, I think it's the 9th of January, actually. Let me double check all my dates. Yes, on the 8th in the morning. When the Sun and Venus conjunct and align, this will be the rebirth of Venus as the morning star. And so this is a very poignant time where from now up until that 8th of January, you're really going through that letting go process. And this will be really impacted by the conjunction with Pluto as well on the 25th, on Christmas. So on this date, we're going to be really feeling this fusion of powerful release, total surrender, time for you to really let go and trust in this spirit-led life that you have that carves out your reality. And don't be fooled, of course, there are going to be moments where the mind, where the emotions, where the heart wants certain things, and that's okay. But that during this phase, you're open, you're aware to the potential of healing and releasing the attachments that are guiding you off path. To the connections, to the relationships, how you relate with other people, and how that pulls you away from the path that serves your highest, greatest good. Highest, greatest good is you living your life with happiness, with joy, with love. And this is Venus. This is what she speaks to us about. So calling in Venus over the next few days, just have these themes playing out for you, how you relate with others. Ensure that it is serving you. And that if you notice that things are starting to drop away, or certain conflicts and various different relationships, they're bringing up the heaviness, or you're being shown where the skins need to be shed in order for you to have a lighter journey, then let it go. You are Venus passing through each of these gates as you venture down into the underworld. And as you go through these gates, you're letting go and you're shedding the skins and you're dropping the weight and you're releasing the connections to others that do not serve you. It's not to say they go away forever, but you're open to this healing transition, this process. And then on the 8th, you're open to that total rebirth of spirit manifest so that it can rise in your body, Capricorn, earth in your body, so that you can carve out the life with purpose and achieve the spiritual. Spiritual is energy. It's life. It's vitality. Okay, it's energy. It's a force. It's a passion. Okay, and when that is brought into your life, into your body, and it carves out this beautiful life path for you, that's a spiritual life, or at least that's what I mean by a spiritual life. Okay, so that's the Venus piece and the Venus retrograde that I wanted to recap that we spoke about the other day. And then with winter solstice, just a reminder again, winter solstice this year happens on the 21st of December at 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Take a moment, go out, look at the sun, watch it be reborn as it moves into 0 degrees Capricorn. And so when the sun moves into the cardinal signs, what's happening is the sun is our consciousness, is our light consciousness. It's symbolic, again, as we tune in with the wheel of the earth. It's all symbolism and how we allow this play of light to help us journey with our own path. And so the sun represents our consciousness, our life force, the prana within our bodies, within the cells of our body. And we're in this dark half of the year, the goddess part of the year. This is the longest, darkest day in the Northern Hemisphere. And so when we're in the depth of this goddess part of the year, we can always remember that this can be likened to being in the womb. And the goddess, or the feminine part of the year, half of the year, when we're in that womb space, even though Samhain what was the ending and the beginning of the year, most people always assume that it's winter solstice because that's when the sun is born. And so I suppose the way of looking at it is, yes, the sun is born at winter solstice, but the seed was planted in Samhain, and we journeyed through the womb process in that pregnant field of energy, of consciousness. And so now the light is being reborn, consciousness is being reborn, and it triumphs over the dark. And from winter solstice onwards, the days become ever so slightly longer and longer and longer until summer solstice. And so what that offers us is an opportunity for our consciousness to be reborn. What is the intention around what it is that we're bringing to life? Well, what's nice about it is we've got this Venus energy that we can play with, that we can really connect with, and that's being threaded into this, whether we like it or not. But it's nice to add that into our intention. It's how we relate with others, how we trust our instincts, how we trust our life path. Perhaps that is coloring the theme or the intention that you set as the sun is reborn on the 21st of December, 2021. Another really amazing thing about winter solstice is this Christ-aligned energy, like I mentioned before, with the Capricorn energy. And I went through all of the myth the other day, and it's also on the online winter solstice playback, the general winter solstice class, and that just gives you all the symbolism and the myth and things like that. And so that relates to how the sun is born, Christ is born on this winter solstice day. And it's not just like Christianity is our most recent connection, collective connection to this consciousness. But this goes way back, goes back into Sumerian times, to Egyptian times. Mesopotamia, like every culture has a story around this theme of the light being reborn, of the light triumphing through the dark. And this is the spirit, this is our energy. It goes through the yin phase, it goes through regeneration, and it is reborn. This consciousness is reborn and starts to rise, starts to escalate, ascend. And so many people talk about the sense of ascension. Ascension is merely living, living, awake, doing, practical, being here, active, but active with vigor, with life force. Cardinal earth. Cardinal earth is earth, the body, the life, the direction, the vessel upon which energy exists within. But it's not just the vessel like Taurus, the held vessel. This is the vessel that is cardinal. It's initiating, it takes action. It puts this body to form. It creates, it gives itself a direction to achieve something in this life, on this life path. And so that is the energy that we tune into on winter solstice. It is this external activation that really helps with the sense of new beginning, an opportunity for you to process anything that has gone on over the last year, this past year. And I don't mean the wheel of the year since Samhain, though plenty has happened in that short space. But if you think back even to this time last year, winter solstice of 2020, where we interestingly had a great conjunction last year, and where we had Saturn and Jupiter aligning, and that created the energy last year in 2020 of the Star of Bethlehem, this really bright light in the night sky around winter solstice that stirred up a lot of these stories about how the three wise men, the three stars in the sky, connected to one bright star that was born into the earth, that led us to realization of our Christ-aligned self. And so all of these stories can be made into wonderful, wonderful stories and a myth, and personified into people that act as the Messiah, or the being that leads others to find this in themselves. And so whatever way you like to look at it, through myth, through Christianity, through religion, through faith, these stories are here for you to uplift you, especially during these times when winter solstice can be a time of this light being reborn, and this joy and sense of new beginnings, and the caring, the nurturing that you take on for new life. If you think about Samhain being impregnation and this dark womb phase of the year, the goddess phase of the year, and then winter solstice is the birth. Well, when a baby is born, you're not rushing out to make it work. You're still taking the time to nurture this energy, to care for this energy, this intention that you set for yourself. And so that is still the phase that you're in. You know, you're still waiting until spring if you were to really connect it to the wheel of the year, just because an intention is born at this time to infuse and enlighten your body and your life direction. Doesn't mean it all happens straight away. Nurture it, tend to it. You're still enjoying this dark phase of the year. So keep the joy, protect it, and become the guide for this energy. And these are all themes that surround the Capricorn season, the Capricorn energy. And so obviously if you have Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, or any personal planets that are strong in Capricorn energy, you can really relate to this type of energy that cares, that protects, and that strives for this energy to reach its highest potential. And it's hard. It doesn't make the journey easy, but it doesn't fear the journey either. And so you become this wise and strengthened protector. And that's what you are. Have an intention, hold it in your heart, and let it come to fruition. This time of year, though, can be hard, or this type of energy can be hard. So perhaps it's not something that you feel right now, but you can relate to a time in your life when you've gone through hardship, to a time in your life when you've collectively felt hardship. And so this is the energy that if you were holding an intention for the collective, you're focusing on this hardship collectively and asking for it to be born anew. And that you tend to it, that you will wisely protect it and lead it through the dark night of the soul to achieve its greatness, to achieve its Christ-aligned, crystalline state, that from coal to diamond, it can transform with a little bit of hard work and a bit of effort. Life can take a change, and it doesn't have to be dark. It will become bright. But that you stick at it, okay? And that is the energy that you hold collectively as well as we journey through the winter solstice. And I say this also because a lot of people can find that the overbearing weight of the loneliness and the hardship of this time of year can bear heavy on their heart. And so in our winter solstice moment, in our prayer where we hold it for the collective, we hold this energy and we ask for that energy to be held and to be upgraded, because it is not an energy that we wish upon anyone, but it is an energy that exists. And it's an energy that we use during this time of year to transform, to see it, to embrace it, but to hold it so that it can rise through this experience, to continue to cycle through the phases of energy and transform into its highest potential. And so I share that part with you because I know collectively, on some level, we're all feeling the weight and burden of the past 18 months. And so Venus is kindly with us again on this journey. 18 months ago, when she had her last retrograde phase, we were at the beginning of a pandemic, of a big change collectively. And now we get to embrace what we have learned from that past experience, but we come at it in a different angle, perhaps not so much just from chatter in the mind, perhaps not so much from just how we connect with others. And now we start to live it. We bring this energy deeply into our bodies, into this Capricorn energy, and we ask for this energy to really elevate our heart so that we unite as a collective to raise the spirits at this time of year, winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, raise the spirits. Let the sun be reborn. Let that Christ-aligned energy come into our lives and thread together so that life isn't heavy and life isn't burdened and life isn't fearful. There isn't scarcity. There is just energy cycling through phases. And as a witness to it with awareness, you journey through these energies not with a heavy heart, but with a loving heart, one that is open and accepting and forgiving and grateful. Grateful for these experiences, because it's through these experiences that you get to expand and you get to grow and you become wise. And these are the lessons of this Capricorn energy that we are grateful to get to journey through this time of the year. And so finally, the last little piece of astrological energy, the celestial play that gets to go hand in hand with this Venusian energy and the winter solstice this year, is the final Saturn-Uranus square. 1 second. And so many of you have gone through lots of the different ceremonies in person and online this year with me. where we spoke about Saturn and Uranus being the theme of this year. The reinvention of the old, the breaking down of the old to allow for innovation and excitement to enter. There was also the fear and suppression of something different coming in to alter us, our bodies, our reality, and how the fear can outweigh the excitement sometimes. How our old ways can be in such conflict with a new way. How the crystalline dynamic energy that we hold within ourselves, our DNA, our bones, our skin, the frequency that we hold as spiritual, physical beings, energetic physical beings, that is all being charged, that is all being enlightened. To an extent, it has been constantly met with conflict, tension. That's all I can kind of say about this year. Saturn and Uranus butting heads in this conflict, not butting heads in a head-on collision, but kind of coming at each other going, hey, you're getting in my way of what it is that I want to do. And so many who perhaps haven't had ceremony with me and cycled through this energy may word it differently, but I've been wording this theme for the year as great manifestation. A square, 90 degrees, is a manifestation. It's an opportunity for energy that is coming from two different angles to meet at a point and create, to actually form something, because there's no avoiding this energy. It's not going to just nicely waft by and flow peacefully on without any recognition. This is a force to be reckoned with, and it's something that's coming in whether we like it or not. So why not bring it in, manifest it, be with it? And so this energy of old and new, of your physical DNA, Saturn, your reality, the beautiful structure of all that you are physically, is being jolted with the Uranus energy. And so Saturn, our reality, our body, our bounding force, Uranus, this divine mind, the angelic presence, this electric force, frequency, meeting in conflict to create something. And so through conflict, yes, there's this jarring and there's this tension that we feel in the energy that we experience in our world. But peel away what's going on collectively and check in with yourself. How I know so many of you who have journeyed with me already have noticed how your bodies feel different, how the frequencies that you can pick up on are wildly expansive, that your reality is tuned to a higher frequency. That's just glorious. Yes, it's still in clash with the old ways. So there's still even an internal kind of, how does this settle? How does this come about? How can I continue to make this manifest as my new reality? But it's there. This energy has come in. You felt it in your bones. You've experienced these changes in your reality. You can feel these frequencies. And when you tune into the excitement of it rather than the fear, it's wild and it's something you crave and want. And it becomes this tension that you're drawing in to manifest. And so with this final push, even though collectively, yes, there is another narrative playing out, I don't know about you, but me and many others that have experienced this, and we've spoken in ceremony before, This is a wonderful energy, and it's being seeded, it's being planted this year. And so this third and final Saturn Uranus square is having wonderful impacts through many. It may not be loud and projected on the mainstream or on the world stage, but we know it exists, and we know it's come alive through the communities, the realities that we've connected with, through the body that we feel and care for, that we've learned new ways to connect and care for, that we've allowed a divine mind to speak to on a cellular level, on the DNA within ourselves, within our skin and bone. We have awoken to this angelic presence of all that we are. And so that is the energy that we call forth for this winter solstice. And Saturn Uranus square happens on the 24th of December, so just in a few days' time. It's not that I'm oblivious or ignoring what's going on the main stage within the world. It just isn't my narrative. And I know so many of you listening, it's not your narrative either. And so that's the one I want you to remember. Remember the incredible energy that you're bringing in. I remember the unique, dynamic energy that you are, and call that into your bones, into your body, into your reality. And not just from now in this ceremonial moment, in your meditation moments, and in your 40-day ceremony with Venus. That's an additional reminder. But let this energy then come in and be shared with your family, with your community, with those that you meet up with. Because that is how this starts. That is the collective energy. Uranus is a collective. It's an energy that is awakening the collective reality. And it's happening. Embrace it, draw that in. That is the intention. That is the light that is being reborn. That Christ-aligned energy is what is coming into play now. And so with those energies in mind, let's call that in for our ceremony for the winter solstice. Let that be the theme that plays out for you as you journey through these final days of 2021. And let that be the energy that feeds into 2022, which is filled with hope. 2022 brings a beautiful new energy that I feel, if we can open and remain in this divine mind that speaks to ourselves, that speaks to the DNA, the codes of our body, of our reality, we bring that energy in to open up our crowns, to heal with compassion any segregation and division, to bring in this unity. It doesn't matter if it's not with every single person you meet, division happens, and c'est la vie. We make our peace with differences. But wherever there is a space for you to hold compassion, forgiveness, healing, next year, this is the energy. Jupiter moves into Pisces, is what I'm talking about. And this energy is hopeful, and it's healing. It's kind, and it's expansive, and it's an opportunity to merge and to allow the portal of death and rebirth to fuse and upgrade. So if we align with these energies and keep our own frequencies buzzing on this force as we move through the end of 2021, this thread, this energy continues on into 2022, and our crown chakras open, this intuition opens and continues to lead us on this path of awakening, this path of remembering, and this path of living with heart, with healing hearts, with loving hearts, and allows it to be the guide through our lives. So I've shared the other little bits of, I'm just double checking what I've missed, but the other little bits of the astrology information I've already shared with you, and I can share it in the below this video in text form, so that you have some of those dates to hand. But I wish you all the best for winter solstice and with your Venus ceremony for the next 40 days. Keep the energy alive of this Uranus-Saturn final square of the year. Bring it into manifestation, because this coding of this angelic light into our bodies and into our reality, it's here. So call that energy in. Let that be the theme, the energy that holds you and that carries you through conversations and connections with others. Let that be the light that the lens that you see as you greet others through Christmas, and how you share this loving, joyful, peaceful energy through the holiday season. So wishing you all the best for Christmas, for winter. Winter solstice blessings, Merry Christmas as well. And now we will start a very short meditation.